Oh, hey, what are you doing there? This is Work Industries. The type of work that would give me the most joy, and that actually is where I'm so much more qualified than the average people working in there, whether they have a certification that I do or don't, is in education with kids. A lot of different age groups. So that's what my preference is. I mean, it's easier for me to find work in something medial, like driving, which doesn't require any of the diplomas I have, really. And there's many diplomas I have. Sometimes I consider, like now, to take those part-time for the sake of establishing myself as an independent educator. Still mucusy from the COVID. And when I worked for a Chinese school in Vancouver, there was cameras all through the class, and I was hoping that they would film and that they would use my work as examples, but that poor ethnicity is doomed, and they might consider other people are their worst enemies, but no, they are their own worst enemies, like most ethnicities are. When I said there was ethnicity wars that are already started, because you guys are so screwed up here, you're not even really fighting other ethnicities anymore, which is also ridiculous. You're fighting similar ethnicities of origins. You could see it in the wars that are brewing. You're all so much the same and similar, and you hate each other, but you're the same. And you self-sabotage your own ethnicities. Anyways, aside from that work with the young kids in the Chinese school, there's also my work with the Western Quebec School Board with la Commission Scolaire des Draveurs. Especially Commission Scolaire des Draveurs is a particular classroom in Saint-Pierre-de-Wakefield, an older classroom at the elementary school there, where I could tell that they were beginning to tell the difference between a teacher, the classroom, and a learning specialist, which they didn't know when I said, oh, I'm not a certified teacher, I'm a learning specialist. It's above. After the half day with them, they were starting to figure it out. They saw me interact with them openly in class, including the kids that had the most challenges, that at that point had become their own, regurgitating the toxicity of either teaching or parental feedback that was inaccurate about them, because it's not the kids that were failing, it's their parents and their teachers, and they were putting it on the kids. Then they regurgitate this. So even in half a day, it was measurable how I was reframing this, and the kids were appreciating it as a class, observing it, as I was doing many things, including empowering some of the kids that believed they had the biggest challenges, that they had been convinced was extremely wrong with them, when it was the adults who had things extremely wrong with them. So this vlog is about me being me as an independent educator, because no way will I jump through hoops to get ECE or teacher certifications, not when I already produce results vastly superior than the norm with these certifications. And again, challenge me. Let me prove it, or don't judge me. Don't say it's not true, or don't say, how dare you, people work hard for this, or whatever. It's about the results with the children. And I stand by my statement that it is measurable, and that you avoid cataloging it or measuring it with me, including that school in Saint-Pierre-de-Wakefield, which broke my heart, because I asked them many times, what feedback did you get from that class where I worked? And they never provided it, because measuring for quality or evaluations is not something that schools do anymore, including universities, including Selkirk College here. They fail, and they want to be allowed to continue to fail the learners because they couldn't handle the truth of the work they have to do to reevaluate themselves, retrain themselves, and answer questions why they don't care enough except for the paycheck. In fields of work, like education, that are primordial for the sake of stabilizing any proto-society now or in the future. So I just sent a school board another introduction of myself. My simple resume with the cover letter, my definition of learning specialist, 7 references related to education, and the last thing is my tutoring poster to show that as an independent, free of choice educator, as I reinvest 90% of any income from my tutoring or any work towards my not-for-profit society, which is your future I'm working for as a species. But my motivation is more the biosphere, not your species. Got no choice to protect the biosphere. I got to help your species. It's hard because I'm treated very badly, decades from your species, including in work of education, but I can handle it. I can handle it in big part because I'm good fighting back against bullies. I don't make a good victim for bullies. I'm very confident. My critical thinking skills have allowed me to be like this. I challenge you to videotape me, to evaluate me based on objective criteria that we'll set forth. You won't do that. Just the fact you won't do it pretty much shows who's right or wrong, or who lives in reality or doesn't, or who lives a transparent life, which is required for quality, and who doesn't. So yes, I'm pretty proud about who I am. And yes, of course, like if a college or university hires me to be a professor and teach like philosophy or whatever, of course I'll wear a shirt, maybe a short sleeve, nice dress shirt, no ties, sometimes jeans, sometimes just nice dress pants. It's not a big deal for me to do this, but this is not the way I can dress right now. Not without work and not with limited laundry resources. And but yes, that's possible. And if you think that I'm giving you the wrong interpretation of my skill sets by not wearing that clothes in advance, you're missing a lot of critical thinking skills. So again, sorry about this. I'm finalizing by saying that I now insist to defend my rights as a worker, that I can only be an independent educator. Not going to pay any dues for unions. I'm not going to get this or that certification. I might decide to start my own independent polymath union. And it'll state I'm not allowed to be part of any other unions. And it's to help you find a way to deviate from the norm if you want to hire a learning specialist with incredible skill sets because you supposedly think that every child matters, supposedly. And the other thing is I might join a professional association, and the one I would choose would be life skills coach under the Saskatchewan New Start model, for example. And that can be transferred to many positions in education, childcare, and also mental health, social work. And that will be enough. If it's not enough for you, then I'm not the one preventing you from receiving the help that you require and that your children require. You're the one blocking it.